Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Head, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, which was decided on We Are Tottenham TV. There's no debate about it. Bringing you, basically, it's not even a review of the game. It's the fallout of the game. A lot of people have a lot of talking points, and I don't want to skirt around it. Let's just get straight into it. You know yourself, Marcelo. There's no point in beating around the bush talking about the game. Let's get into it. It's the same old talking points. Let's get straight into this, and I'll let you take it away.
Absolutely. Listen, we all know who the players are. I call them the usual suspects. I say it all the time. They have a couple few games, like the greatest trick the devil ever pulled, making believe he never existed. So that's what these guys do. That's what guys like Dyer, what guys like Davies, what these guys do. Like Winks is, prime example. That's what they do. And listen, man, it's the same thing again. You know what I mean? We conceded in the 80th minute. I mean, look at the Matty Hayes channel. I even said it. Like I think you asked him, "Are you feeling fairly confident?" And you guys were confident, but I was like, "I'm not confident." I'm telling you, in the 80th minute, that's where we usually scored. Maybe I was wrong by 5 minutes, but I feel like I was in the ballpark. You know what I mean? It's the same fucking time. We always concede at the same time at the 80th minute, like 15 minutes before the game ends. It's unacceptable. And I do blame the players. I do think these players are not good enough. We have already stated that. I think, like, personally, I want to win league titles. I want to be a top club. And if you want to be a top club, you can't you can't have a player like Eric Dyer and Benjamin Davies in your team. I'm sorry, you can't have them starting. And when we looked at the lineup, I already said it, David, didn't I? I said it. This is either on Jose. If he wins, I will praise him for a masterclass. But if he loses, I will criticize him and put it all on him because that lineup, in my opinion, was a risky lineup. He didn't have to go that lineup. He rested Toby. He rested Toby for Stoke, right? He could have played Toby. Eric Dyer has been, playing many minutes. He could have maybe rotated with Rodon. Or, maybe rotated with Sanchez, do a Sanchez and Toby back line. You know what I mean? Davies, he played against Stoke. He still wanted to play Davies. He wanted to do a back. I get it. He was trying to do a back five to accommodate like Wolves. But whenever you go away from your original formation and your style, you're taking your risk, and that's on the manager at the end of the day, in my opinion. And he put Reguilon a wing back, who can be a wing back, but he prefers a back four. You can clearly see because we played him as a wing back against Chelsea. I think we played him as a wing back against what was it, Antwerp. And he likes being a fullback. He likes getting the ball from the deep and driving it through. It's just clear to see. But he can play a wing back. But he didn't have the best of game. But then I think also what he got absolutely wrong, and is the same thing that keeps occurring every time, is his substitutions. It is terrible. How did Kane play 90 minutes of that game over Sonaldo? I guess Sonaldo wasn't good, but Sonaldo still had energy. You still saw Sonaldo running. Kane didn't look like he could touch the ball or run it with the ball. You know what I mean? You saw it. Every time he got the ball, he just kicked it. He couldn't walk, man. And then you're taking Son out. And then not only you take our pace, our only pace left, right, which was in Son, you also take away our only creativity. And then you replace it with Sissoko. So you killed off our pace, you killed off our creativity, and then you just it made no sense. The lineup just made no sense when he did that. Like when he made those like if you're gonna take off no baller, put in Delhi. You know what I mean? I don't know what your issue is with Delhi. I get Delhi hasn't had the best run of games, but guess what? You still keep playing your favorites and Winks and Dyer, and they have shit games week in and week out. And you don't give Delhi a chance. You know what I mean? We need another creativity. If no baller is tired, put in Delhi. You don't put in fucking Sissoko. Okay, you want to close off the game, right? You want to just, hold the lead? Fine. And I was saying, it's fine. But then take off Kane, put on Rodon, put another defender, make it solid tight. He didn't do that. He put two more forwards.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Look, I fully agree with you. And look, I'm going to have my say now in a minute. I will have my say in a sec. I have a lot to get off my chest as well. I know you're the same. I just want to go through some of these comments quickly. I do want to interact with the fans a lot more on these live streams as well. So we'll just get a few of them in. Hello, big up you. Thank you very much. LB Vlogger, hello. Come on, you Spurs. I don't know. Saying yo, what's up to you? Joe 27, he comments regularly on our videos and that Marcelo. So big up Joe. And then we have Trevor Northern. What are your thoughts on Damari Gray links? I think it's a joke. If he's not good enough for Leicester, he's not good enough for us. Doesn't make their squad. Reeks of William to Arsenal. Look, one thing I will say, I am going to address this quickly, but I'm going to drop an exclusive here. We have Matt Hayes coming on the channel. Very soon. He has a very big week coming up. So first of all, before I drop the exclusive, check over the live stream we done on his channel yesterday. I absolutely love doing them with this guy. Love and enjoy going on this guy's channel. He's done so much for me, and I want you all to throw him the support as well. He's the big push to 5,000 this week. He's absolutely great videos coming out this week. More or less 6 o'clock most days. So make sure you get over and check them out. He released an absolute bombshell yesterday. He has Fabrizio Romano coming on as well onto his channel to give you all the latest transfer exclusive. And then after that, we're going to get Matty Hayes onto this channel. We're going to do a live stream, and you can get all your transfer questions in and everything there for this guy. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So yeah, Trevor, look on the Damari Gray links. Yeah, I fully agree. He's not good enough. I don't want him.
He's garbage.
You know, we need to sign. They finished the article. We need to sign the right players. Damari Gray is not one for me that we need to sign. But make sure you stay tuned and look out for the transfer show with Matt Hayes. We have Mr. K. Hi David. Hi Marcelo. Big up you
in the live stream. Yeah, he's a guy that always supports us. Thank you, man.
Yeah, big support. I really do appreciate it. We have Matt Hayes here. Smash that like button. Make sure make love to the subscribe button and support Ireland's #2 Spurs fan, David Harris. Yeah, look, first of all, make sure you do hit the like button. I tend to leave that one out a lot. I don't know why. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, or make love to it, smash it, whatever you want to do. Just hit that button. Get your support behind me. The big push for 1K is on. Already reached my target of 500. Now I'm absolutely smashing it. I'm on my way to 1K. I gained another 30 over the last few days, so keep it coming. And Ireland's #2 Spurs fan. I've already said, Matty Hayes, you're Ireland's #1 biggest Spurs YouTuber, but I'm Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. You know, the knowledge. Look, maybe it's because you're a bit younger than me. I might have had an advantage. But look, we'll call for round 2. I'm up for it if you are. Just let me know, buddy.
Come on.
Marcelo, look, back to the game.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, look, I don't understand. One thing I will do is, right, I am going to criticise Jose on not starting Toby Alderweireld. I don't know why that happened, to be honest. I don't understand why that happened. Look, I don't understand, especially because he read Toby against Stoke. It was a bad call, in my opinion. The 5 at the back. Look, let's be honest. It's everyone wanted him to try something different. He done it yesterday, and then as soon as he does it, people criticise him for it. People have been calling for 3 at the back with 2 wing backs. People have been calling for it. So it's a lose-lose situation no matter what this guy does for some people. Then you look like Marcelo. I heard you actually. I have to pull you up on this. There's one thing I do have to say to you actually. Is you said on We Are Tottenham TV yesterday that it was Jose's fault that Winks played. I can get where you're coming from.
It is.
But right at the end of the day, remember, this guy has also gone into Jose's office and asked to play. He's asked to play.
Hey, listen. So if I go to Jose's office and I ask to play, for Tottenham, does that mean I get in?
Yeah.
Nah,
everyone just gets to play.
Danny Rose came into his office and asked to play. He didn't get a chance. He did. He played with the under-23s. You know.
He's playing in midfield against Derby County.
But the thing is, again, it's another situation. People were absolutely praising him after the Stoke game. Oh, this is why we need him.
You just can't. The thing is, you just can't get carried away.
No, but like, this is the thing. This is what I'm saying, right? People were there calling for Winks to be played after the Stoke game. Absolutely loving it. This is why we need to play him. Passion. He's so good on the ball, right? He played yesterday. Look what happens, right? Again, he's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't, right? So you can't, like, no matter what, people are going to make Jose the scapegoat. These are the same players that let us down when it came to the crunch under Pochettino, and they're doing it again. You know what I mean?
Marcelo, it's good to speak to you again. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. But like, in my opinion, is right. For me, Winks, both you and I said it. It's just Stoke. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good performance, but for me, and even in the We Are Tottenham interview, I said it. You know what I mean? Let's see if he can do it in the Premier League. I told Sim that, and he can't do it. It's clear to see he can't do it in the Premier League. So. I wasn't impressed with Winks and stuff. Well, I was impressed with the performance, but it wasn't enough to say.
Also, he should have been taken off instead of Ndombele. He took off. Why did he take off our best player instead of Winks? I know. Look, a few people watching have probably seen my stream that me and David done earlier, but literally, my opinion is the tactics were wrong. The players' individual mistakes again from set pieces. The formation was wrong. The team selection was wrong. I said it from the start. And yet again, it was a carbon copy of the Palace game, innit? Literally a carbon copy. And I think you have to ask questions of the players and the manager for the game yesterday, because Charlie again wasn't good enough yesterday. Look,
what I said here is right. People scapegoat Mourinho on his tactics, right? These were the same tactics when players executed the game for a full 90+ minutes, got us to the top of the league, and people were loving it and praising it, right? So there's no point in turning on the tactics now. Look at what the problems is. When we were getting the wings and getting on top of the league, players were taken accountable for at the back line, right? They were getting their head. They weren't making these individual mistakes, right? Our attacking players weren't shattered, and we were ripping teams apart.
That's a problem as well. Right? I've noticed it.
But
Kane and Son have been running to the ground.
We were able to pass out from the back. Our players are executing the basics, right? Stuff you're taught when you first go to start playing football.
Yep.
Control the ball, pass the ball, right? So when you go to play attacking football, right? People play the ball on the ground. You execute the basics. You get up the field. When players aren't executing the basics, you can't blame a manager for that and say it's his tactics, right? You can't do it. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, right? When players can't pass the ball and not executing the basics, that's why you're getting pinged in for as long as we're getting pinged in, because no one can take account on the ball, and no one wants to make these players held accountable. They all want to scapegoat Mourinho on his tactics. It doesn't fly with me, because these are the same tactics that got us to the top of the league when our players were on form, right? And then you see people saying, like, oh, well, I don't see you blaming Harry Kane in this, right? The reason why I don't blame Harry Kane, first off, and players like you, recent players like this, they have credit in the bank. Under Pochettino, there are best players that tried and were let down by certain individuals. It's the same happening here again under Mourinho.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
They have credit in the bank.
I agree.
Lloris has saved us more points than what he's ever cost us. Harry Kane has scored more goals and played better games than what he has played shit. It's not Harry Kane's fault that he's tired at the minute, right? It's not his fault. It's not Højbjerg's fault that he's tired. It's not Son's fault that he's tired. At the end of the day, if certain players stepped up when they were supposed to step up and play their part in the squad and the season, i.e. Europa League games, Cup games, stuff like this, right? And you weren't having to bring on the likes of Kane, Son and Højbjerg to save the day.
We shouldn't have needed to.
Then you wouldn't be tired for games like today.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just say that as well. They've literally been running to the ground, and that's not their fault, because other players are not stepping up and chipping in Europa League games. They're not stepping up, and we've had to call upon the likes of Kane, Son, and Højbjerg to come on and pretty much get us out of trouble, essentially. And I think this comes down to other players not stepping up, and that's why they've been running to the ground completely. They've just been running to the ground, and now we're in trouble because we got loads of games coming up on Wednesday, Saturday, then we got Brentford, whatever. We got so many games coming up, and we're in trouble because if these guys are tired and sort of not performing, then it's a worry. It really is worrying. But yeah, anything? What were you going to say, Marcelo?
I was going to say this. Listen, I never questioned Jose's philosophy. Like, whenever I criticize Jose, his philosophy is his philosophy. When he came into this club, if you did not expect a defensive mindset, you never watch Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, but that's true.
But let me finish my point.
Yeah.
My issue with Jose Mourinho has been, right, I've been calling it out when we were winning. as long as we were losing. You can ask David this. I've been calling it out. It's in the cameras. I said he needs to drop Dyer. He needs to drop some of these backlines because we will get found out. Toby is the only one that carries that backline.
He should have played yesterday.
Toby is the only one that can relieve the pressing because his long balls, his through balls, his pinging, his passing is fantastic. You see, the thing is, the issue we're having right now, right, is teams are figuring us out in terms of pressing. People always wonder, oh, why do we look so shaky whenever we score a goal? Let me tell you why. We score a goal, right? It's an individual brilliance by either Kane, Son, or whatever, right? Or in Numballer, it was yesterday, right? But then once they scored a goal, what does the team have to do? They have to retort and they have to start pressing a little bit higher, than usual. And then when they start pressing a little bit higher than usual, they see, oh, Dyer can't pass the ball. Dyer's first touch is shit. Oh, Davies can't pass the ball. He doesn't keep composed under pressure. And these are the simple fundamentals of football. Now, he needs to drop Davies. He needs to quit playing Davies. Not good enough. He needs to keep playing Reguilon in these Premier League games. He needs to keep playing
4-3-3. He needs to stick.
Yeah, he needs to stick with what's giving him, the results. I think the reason why we failed was because he didn't stick to the formation that keeps us winning games. He needs to stick to that.
Where's the back coming from? Literally, where did the thing is, I've never liked 5 at the back.
How many fans have been calling for it? That's where it's coming from.
I don't get it.
I didn't.
It's another situation. It's bad when he goes in bad when he doesn't.
Do you know why I don't like 5 at the back? Because when England use it, it annoys me as well. When Southgate persists with it, 5 at the back. I've never liked it. And it's not just because Tottenham use it, right? It's just in general as a formation, I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because it's a very defensive shape. It's a defensive shape, whether you like it or not, because there's 5 defenders on the pitch. So the reason why that formation is ineffective is because in that formation, if you go a goal down, what are you meant to do with 5 defenders on the pitch? However, but when you're playing in a 4-3-3, you can still have a defensive unit. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You can still have a defensive unit. And then if you are chasing the game, you still got the attacking players on the pitch to chase the game. You know what I mean?
You're missing the biggest. You're missing the bigger picture. You're missing the bigger picture here, right?
Yeah.
Players let us down against Palace, Leicester, Liverpool. Right?
I know. I agree.
People were calling for something different. So Josie gave you something different, and it didn't work out. And now they're criticising them.
But it's the same. It was the same tactic. It wasn't. It was just a different formation. That's the thing. It was just a different formation.
Charlie. You can't call for something different and want to see something, and then criticise them for giving you what you want.
The only player since the Palace Liverpool games that I've been calling out for to replace has been Winks, Dyer. Listen, this is not panic mode. People think, oh, we're under fire, we're panicking. First off, we're 6 points off the top of the league. Let's chill out. If anybody said for a Tottenham fan to be 6 points off the top of the league by December, they would have snatched you up at the beginning.
Are we still in it?
Absolutely, we're still in the title race. He just needs what Jose needs to do, and I've been saying it when we were winning, and I've been saying it when we were losing. He needs to drop his favorite Son and Dyer. He needs to start putting the Welsh Maldini. He needs to stop. He needs to start getting the Welsh Maldini in the squad. I'm telling you, Welsh Maldini.
Come on.
He is. And David can't criticize for me because I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. Welsh Maldini is twice better than Dyer is. He is experienced.
Next to Toby.
Exactly, next to Toby. I've been saying it because guess what? With Reguilon, with the Welsh Maldini, with Toby, and I guess Aurier. Aurier though is not the best at passing from the back, but with those three, we have a very good unit that can pass from the back, and that's dangerous, and that will relieve the pressing, and it will solve this issue with clubs just pressing us until the end of the day. And I have a little screen to share with you, David. I don't know if it's okay.
Yeah.
But hold on a second.
Give me 1 second before I share it there, Marcelo. Arthur Everett, he's a member of Matty's channel and a regular. I do want to apologise. I think he was a bit annoyed with my swearing yesterday when we conceded the goal in the live stream. So I do want to apologise. I didn't mean to upset you. And again, I done it again on Charlie's channel earlier today. It's just sometimes I can't control it when things annoy me. But look, I will do my best in future. Yeah, Marcelo, 1 second. I'll see if I can throw that up there. No, it's not there to throw up.
Hold on. Yep, I'll do it now. Okay. So you see the tactics board here, right? So the issue is I was looking at this, right? So just imagine this is Davies, this is Dyer, and this is Toby, right? And then this is Aurier. So then we score a goal, right? Fantastic. Woohoo! We're we scored a goal. And then teams are now, okay, we're conceded. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna press, right? So we're gonna, bring our back line up. We're gonna start pressing, put guys in here. And then they start bringing the ball here. And then they, either lose the ball or something, right? But they lose the ball in our half. We lose our ball in our half. And then they look at Davies. And Davies holds the ball for, 300 years. And then he has Dyer. And then Dyer, has a terrible first touch. Then he has to get the ball. And then he passes to Toby. And then Toby is the only competent defender and gives it to someone else. So then when people try to press Toby, they're like, oh, damn, Kane got the ball. Or, oh, damn, that was a nice long ball. I'm not going to press Toby, right? Because if I give Toby space, we're screwed. So then what do? They target the usual suspects. The usual suspects. They target Dyer because they go, oh, Dyer doesn't have a good first touch. And then guess what Dyer does? He panics. He doesn't know what to do. And then he passes it back to the back line. And then the press keeps going deeper. And then to the point where the whole team is in our half line. Because these guys, not Toby, I'm sorry, Toby, but these guys can't pass a simple through ball. They can't pass it to the midfield. And because Jose keeps playing them, he keeps inviting the press. If Jose plays Dyer again, I will guarantee you they will target him and he will get pressed till the end of the earth and he's going to keep giving the ball away. Yep. It is going to happen every time.
I guess that explains why his passing has been terrible the last 4 games.
It's awful because we have been found out. And let's look at the... I'm sorry, I'm going to have to use the word soccer here, but it's, it's how, Americans
soccer.
On how to deal with pressing. Where is that? I had a...
But the thing is, again, though, Marcelo, like, it brings it back down to individual players. Like, people are criticizing Mourinho. You can't criticize Mourinho.
How many individual mistakes keep costing us? That's the thing.
The thing is, Mourinho can only work with the players he has at the minute. And my point is, it's the same players you've seen on the pitch doing it again now when the big games come around. It's the individual players. You can't be criticizing Mourinho. And this is the point I've been trying to make last night and today. And a lot more people are starting to see, even come on my side. Even what Marcelo was doing there with the tactics thing. Like, that even backs up my point. It's individual players. Like, the thing is at right back, right? We have Doherty, who hasn't worked out. We have Aurier. So, like, he plays Aurier and risks a penalty, or does he play Doherty? Doesn't risk really a penalty, but means we can't get out from the back. So there at right back, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, right? You have Joe Rodon. Right now, Joe Rodon, for me, this goes down to on who sanctioned the deal, because they signed him when it was too late, knowing he couldn't play in the Europa League squad, which means he hasn't had a Carabao Cup. He hasn't had a chance to play to show Mourinho what he can do. He was cut-tied in the Carabao Cup, so he hasn't had a chance to play for that. And like, if I was Mourinho, especially when we're on the way to the top of the league, why would you break up a partnership that was working?
Exactly.
And just throw Rodon in there. So you can't blame him on Rodon. So I blame whoever sanctioned the deal. They didn't do the homework, right?
But the thing is,
left back. Regulon can't play every game. Ben Davies is that poor and makes that many mistakes and so poor on the ball. Like, it's just impossible for Regulon to play every game.
Can't wait for Sessegnon next season. Sessegnon's been doing bits at Hoffenheim.
I will give you the solution, right? Before we were even on top of the league, and when we were in the top of the league, I was calling for Joe Rodon to play these smaller games to get him, get him ready. He could have done it. He could have started him against West Brom. He could have started him against Burnley. And I said it. I've been saying it.
Could have started him yesterday.
Yeah, and I was calling for it. I knew Dyer was going to get exposed. And if I can see that Dyer was going to get exposed and that the teams are going to figure out because of his poor passing, then Jose should. He is a mastermind tactician.
Exactly.
If Marcelo from Brazil,
from Real Madrid left back, Real Madrid left back.
if he knew that this would happen, which did happen, then Jose should know, because the core fundamentals of football as a defender is you being able to be composed under pressure and being able to pass the ball. These are the simple techniques on how to deal a press: composure under pressure, accurate forward passing, and movement to receive, and team defending. You need all of these three to deal with the press. Toby is the only center back that I've been saying that can deal with all these three things.
Do you know what it is as well? With Toby, he's very positionally good, if you know what I mean. His positional awareness is brilliant. With Dyer, his positional awareness has been terrible the last few games. So if you want to, that's another thing for you there, Marcelo, if you want to point that out.
Absolutely. And listen, and nobody can criticize me, because this is not a flip-flop idea. This is an idea that I have had since the beginning of the season, since when we were winning, since everything was going on. Even and I will still hold to this opinion. Dyer is not good enough. I will still hold to this opinion, even if we're in the top of the league, and even if we are winning 5 games in a row. Dyer, unless he fixes passing, unless he gets his basics together, he is not good enough for this football club. And
removes the brain farts.
Yeah.
Can I just
And the Welsh Maldini needs to be integrated in the squad. He needs to start on Fulham. He needs to start on Fulham. If he doesn't start on Fulham and he plays Dyer again, I will blame Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Because that is his fault.
Yeah. Can I add a point as well to what you said there, Marcelo? If you want to get the screen off, David, because I can't see myself on here. But there's just a point I want to add to what Marcelo made, because it's completely true. I completely agree with what he's saying. But there's an example with Eric Dyer and Mourinho that he's just his love child, because this happened at the end of last season, right? I think this has gone unnoticed, right? Basically, what it was, when Dyer got that suspension for the incident against Norwich, and he missed 5 games after lockdown last season, right? Basically, the game before he got suspended was against Sheffield United, and he was terrible in that game, right? Then, in the next 5 games, there's a partnership of Sanchez and Toby. And look, we know about Sanchez. We know he's not good enough. But the thing is, at that specific time, Sanchez was playing very well, filling in for Dyer. Sanchez was playing very well at that time, alongside Toby. For those 5 games, we kept, I think, clean sheets against, Everton. We beat Arsenal 3-0, Leicester. We had some really good results, Newcastle as well, with Sanchez and Toby. Because at the time, Sanchez was playing well. I know that's not the case now, but at the time, he was playing well. So for him to then, it gets to the last game of the season against Crystal Palace last season, right? And Dyer's back from suspension. Guess what he does? Brings Dyer. Yeah, he brings him in, and guess what happens in the game? He makes a mistake. He makes a mistake in that game. Do you remember their goal? That was Dyer's mistake, if I remember correctly.
And honestly, I'm sorry. I just have to add one thing to that. He does this all the time. He substitutes Dele for making one mistake, criticizes him. But then Dyer, I already said it, unless Dyer, right, goes up to Jose Mourinho and says, "Screw you, Jose," puts the ball down and then scores in his own net. That's the only way Dyer's ever going to get kicked out of this team.
The problem.
That's the only way Dyer will never leave this team. That is Jose's fault. You have to Welsh Maldini. I'm telling you, David. I'm telling you. The answers are in this team. Stop rotating Davies. Stop using Davies for cup games. Stop using him for Europa games. Stop using him for rotations. Get Dennis Sirkin in here. Start playing him in the rotations. I'm not saying start Dennis Sirkin. Obviously, Reguilon needs to start. But if you need to rotate someone, rotate Dennis Sirkin. Give him some minutes. Give him time.
Yeah. Stop
playing Harry Winks. Harry Winks is the reason. These guys are the reason why we finished in the Europa League. You know what I mean? Stop playing Harry Winks. Start rotating with Harvey White instead. Start utilizing some young players.
You know as well, David.
Marcelo, I fully get what you're saying, right? But the thing is, what I'm addressing is the fan base as a whole. I know you don't want to see Winks. I know you want to see Davies. I'm of the same opinion, and so is Charlie. But the thing is, you have fans there saying, we need to play Winks. He plays Winks, and looks what happened. And then them same people
That's
want
one
to
of the
blame
three
Jose
problems
Mourinho.
that I said
Them
the
same
other day.
people want to blame Jose Mourinho for playing weeks, even though they're the ones that have been calling for it.
No, absolutely.
He can't
Those
win.
fans, those fans are
They're a
disgrace.
problem. They're part of the problem.
Yeah, they're part of the problem. If
Yeah.
you wanted to play Winks and then he plays Winks and he failed, that is your fault. But I'm saying from my perspective, and my perspective is I've been keeping up with the same opinion. I've been saying it was going to happen, and it has been happening. I said we should start playing the Welsh Maldini since the beginning of the season. I said we should be playing him in these smaller games to get him used to the Premier League, and he hasn't been doing it.
Joe, this comment here from Joe, it's just completely true. It just sums it all up, doesn't it? Just the state of this club at the moment. It just sums it all up. Like it says, we still have many average players in the squad, and again, everyone else dropped points, and yet again, we didn't take our chance. We bottled him. We always do, he said, I'm sick of it as well, Joe. It's completely true. It just sums up our club.
Absolutely,
it really sums up our club.
Just something I want to put to you quickly. Do you think we should put a link in the stream and let people come on and ask us their opinion on the Wolves game? Ask us.
We don't want any
us
trolls. We don't want any trolls. We don't want any trolls. That's the thing. I got a few trolls on my. I stopped doing. If this is an exclusive here, a bit of it, but I stopped doing the fan show for a bit because there's been a few trolls and stuff. So I'm not sure.
It's up to you, David. It's your channel, man. It's your channel.
No, people in the comments in the comments seem to all be positive. So look, we'll throw it in. If we get a troll. Look, I think we should try it, but like the thing is, only come on and ask us about the Wolves game because I do have a transfer team coming up with Matty, and I want to save all the transfer
Matt
questions
Hayes at 6 o'clock. Yeah, check out Matt Hayes at 6 o'clock. I think me and David and maybe Marcelo will be all on it at 6.
I said if Matty wants to have me, I'm free for today.
Yeah,
so,
6. Yeah.
No, look, Charlie, can you throw the link into the chat there? We'll take on 2 or 3 and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we'll keep talking about the Wolves game.
David, I can't share the link. You're the one that can share the link, I think. At the bottom of your screen, it's like invite, and then just copy that link and then paste it in the chat.
Now, I personally think this January, right? I think people saying, "Oh, we need this, we need that, we need that." I think we just all we're missing is 2 quality signings. If we can get a decent, like not a decent, but like a good center back and a attacking midfielder or a winger, we're all set. One of those.
Yeah. Do you know what it is as well, Marcelo? I said this as well to David that for me, we're free. There's 3 certain players that we need in order to compete consistently at the top with the likes of Liverpool. And I'll tell you who those 3 players are. We've got Milan Skriniar, of course, the defender. You were saying the centre back. We need a proper commanding centre back like Toby to go next to him and slot straight in there. So Skriniar is one. The next one is Sabitzer, as you say, an attacking midfielder that can chip in with goals and help and sort of ease the pressure on Kane and Son and can just add more goals from our midfield and create more chances for us. So Sabitzer. And the third player, this might surprise a few people, but the third player is Bissouma of Brighton because I think we need to start looking long-term and start looking for a long-term replacement for Sissoko because Bissouma, he's the type of player he is. He's basically Sissoko, but can pass and shoot. Literally, he's literally Sissoko with the skill, basically with the technique. So for me, if we get those 3 players in, whether it's in January or the summer, I really do think we've got the team capable of going. What do you make of that, Marcelo? Do you think those 3 players would be good for us?
I think they're great. Skriniar. Listen, I've always preferred Milinkovic a little bit more.
Yeah, we were linked with him as well, recently. Milinkovic,
I really like Milinkovic. Just looking at him, I think he's a good player. I think he can do very well for us. For me, my personal 3, if I could, would be Milinkovic, Sabitzer, and what's his name?
Bissouma.
It's not Bissouma, but Sarr from Watford.
Which Sarr? He's a winger. Sarr's a winger.
Yeah. I want a winger. We need another winger.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Sabitzer. Sabitzer can play out wide. That's where he plays for Leipzig. So that's what I was saying. In that sense. So Sarr's a shout, you know. Sarr is Marla Sarr. Yeah, he's done well. Yeah, that's a shout actually. Yeah, but I just feel we need to start looking long term for Sissoko, because Sissoko, he's so. The thing is with Sissoko, he's so effective when we're defending against the big teams, against City, whatever. But when we're chasing a game, he's not effective at all. That's the thing. And I feel with Bissouma, he can be effective in both areas because he can pass and shoot, Bissouma.
Yeah.
So I think, and because literally, as I said, Bissouma and Sissoko are the same player. It's just Bissouma has the shooting and passing. That's the only difference, literally. So that's my take on it. I've always liked Bissouma. He's a brilliant midfielder, Bissouma.
Yeah,
So
it's a shout. Yeah, no, it's a good one. Personally, I just choose Sar because he has wicked pace, man, and he's good with the ball.
100%.
And he's only 21, so you know what I mean. He's an investment for the future. And honestly, I rate Lamella, but he gets injured too often.
Yeah.
And we need someone with pace on that right hand side to accompany Son. And personally, I would say this: I would sell personally Lucas.
Yeah, he's not doing enough at the moment. You're right. He's not doing enough. Not doing enough at all. And he's one of the players that needs to step up more and provide more goals and assists. Him, Bergwijn, Dele, there's a few more I can't think of. Maybe even the likes of Lo Celso as well.
Yeah.
Need to do a bit more in terms of scoring and assisting. So, but I think with Mora, his age, is he going to get any better? Probably not. So you've got a case there, Marcelo.
I think Mora and Lamella. And the thing is with Lamella is it's not based on ability. It's more just to do with the fact that he can't get in the pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can be the best player in the world, but if you can't get on the pitch, what's the point of having him? You know what I mean?
Also, have you guys seen the links to Sergio Ramos from Dan Kilpatrick saying that we're monitoring that situation?
That would be fantastic. He can be 34 years old, but he is at 50 years old, he's a better player than Dyer.
It'd be like Thiago Silva with Chelsea. Yeah.
Oh, he has a brilliant first touch, brilliant pass. He can play out from the back. He has pace. Oh my God.
There's news from Dan Kilpatrick here. It says as well, Dele Alli's expected to leave Tottenham in January after falling out of favour with Jose Mourinho. Spurs are willing to sanction a loan or a permanent move. Marcel Sabitzer is the leading replacement. So some concrete news there from Dan Kilpatrick. Better than that fraud Ornstein saying we're not going to spend it, saying we're not going to tend to spend anything. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
I don't trust anything what Levy says, because Levy, he's a guy that will never tell you exactly.
It's not
what
Levy saying it. It's Ornstein. It's Ornstein saying it.
Yeah.
Who Ornstein is a reliable source, but he's, as David said, he's a gooner. And the thing is, who are you going to trust more? Dan Kilpatrick, who has actually got sources, who's actually with the club like Alistair Gold is, or are you going to trust a guy that's more Arsenal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Ornstein's probably putting that out there to try and hijack a deal for like some bits on players like that. Don't be under any illusions. It does go on. Just quickly, the link is there in the live stream. If anyone wants to come on live here and ask us a question, you're more than welcome. No trolls, obviously, because I will just take you straight out of the stream. But yeah, no, the link's there. So if any of us are not camera shy and you want to come on, and you have a question, get on, use the link, and I'll bring you on, and we'll try and answer your question as best as we can. But yeah, no, look, transfers. Look, the whole problem is look, we can't blame Mourinho. Look, I called out Mourinho substitutions long ago. Yeah. It's nothing new for me. Like, just because of yesterday, it's not new. Like, go back and look at my videos. I called them out in Europa League games. I called them out long ago. So it's nothing new. But the thing is, my thing is the players. So some of these players are just not good enough to be at this level. The thing I argue is, if we let half of these players go, Davies, Winks, Sanchez, do you honestly think they're going to go on and win something at another club? No.
Because the clubs that take them won't be. The
thing is, we can't blame Mourinho. We have to invest. We have to invest.
I think it's just a problem. What worries me as well is the fact that we've seen so many times where we just struggle to offload players. That worries me because realistically, we're not going to get rid of however many players in one window. It's not realistic.
Absolutely,
it just doesn't. Yeah. So, but the thing is, will we even be able to offload one? That's the thing. Will we even be able to get rid of one player that we just listed? So, will we be able? Let's just say like Sanchez. Will we even be able to get rid of him? Like, will clubs come in for him? That's what worries me, because will Levy ask for too much money? Like he keeps doing. The thing is with Levy, he asks for too much money for average players. Literally. That's that's maybe why we struggle to offload players sometimes, and that just worries me as well, because we're hearing noises like, "Oh, we have to sell to buy in January," and that phrase just pisses me off. To be honest, that phrase, just sell to buy, because it's been something we hear. I understand it in a way with COVID, but it's something we've heard even before COVID, so it's nothing new. That's the thing. So I think January is going to be interesting. If Delhi goes, then there's no excuses not to get Sabitzer if Delhi goes, because if a player goes, you just have to replace them. It's going to be an interesting January. Anything you guys want to add to that?
Oh, listen, the Sergio Ramos link. I mean, I see people saying, "Oh, he's 34 years old. Oh, he's 34 years old." Listen, Eric Dyer couldn't pass a test, let alone a ball. So you know what I mean? Like, he will never be half of the defender that Sergio Ramos is. Sergio Ramos could not have 2 knees, and he will still be a better defender than Eric Dyer. I'm telling you. And I think I still believe in Jose, because if you look at these connections, Sergio Ramos is in connections with Tottenham Hotspurs, and this is all because of Jose. And I agree with David. And
as well the special relationship between Tottenham and Madrid.
Exactly.
we finally got the benefit of that in the summer with Reguilon and stuff and Bale. Finally, after like how many years?
Exactly. And as I was saying, I'm with David. Listen, I'm willing to give Jose Mourinho 2 summers. I won't be Jose Mourinho out until he gets the player he wants. But I will criticize him when he goes for a risky formation in a game we need to win, and he goes for a risky formation, doesn't play the players that are available to him, like Toby, like Rodon, like Harvey White, like Sirkin. These players are all available to him that he can play. I will criticize him for that, and I will pin it on him.
That's fair enough. Yeah. That's fair enough. We'll bring in our first caller here today now. We actually know this guy.
Mohammed.
How you doing?
I am good.
Mohammed, do you have a plane in the background or something?
Yeah, I can hear it echoing.
There's some problem. Let me connect my headphones. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, that's 10 times better. So this is a guy, he was on before. He was on our podcast with Ashley and that. So he's no one new, and he's a massive supporter of mine. I like everything this guy has to say. But what's your question?
No, this is not my question. I just want to I will take 2 minutes just for the yesterday's game. And first thing, I think that Wolves is not a small team. I think to go at their ground and get a point is a good result. But the point is that we scored a first minute goal, and we need to carry on that, and we'll score second, and then have to kill the game. But the problem is that Mourinho does not trust the defense, and we have some issues here because our defenders, they are quite slow. And Toby is a good defender, but he is quite old. I mean, he's 33 or 34, whatever he is. So he can't run, he can't track back.
He's our best defender, Toby.
Yeah, he is our best defender, but he's not the same like he was 4 years ago. So that's the point. And the second thing is he's playing there because of his physicality.
And his positional awareness. His positional awareness is better than everyone we've got. You look at Dyer, right? His positional awareness has been terrible the last few games. You look at Toby, for me, that guy's really underrated. His positional awareness is one of the best in the league. Yeah. It really is. He's so calm and composed and always in the right place.
No, okay. The point I want to make is he's not willing to play them together actually because they both are slow. And therefore we are defending back with Højbjerg and Sissoko, and we are not playing with Winks or someone else. Winks is also rubbish. So this is a problem with me, or there is?
No, you're all good.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And the last point, the second last point which I want to make is, what do you think that how many of our defenders can go into top 5 teams? I don't think any.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Only Toby. For me, only Toby.
Only Toby. Toby.
Only Toby.
And if even lads, he's 33 now. If even
he's
Mohammed was saying, he's not the same player he was either. We do have to remember.
But no,
He's
he's still better than the likes of Zuma. He's still better than the likes of I guess Arsenal are still considered a top.
No.
I guess.
No.
But no,
I
he's still
understand.
he's better than Zuma. He's better than let's look at.
Who is it? Liverpool. For me, he's better than Matip. For me,
He's better than Matip. He's better than. Let's look at what was it? City.
City.
That's
Possibly
hard.
Laporte. I think he might be better than Laporte.
No,
to be
Laporte
honest.
is better.
No, Laporte is far better.
No,
Just to go on
Laporte's
that.
better.
Maybe.
Okay,
It's a close one. I think he's on a similar level to Laporte. I think similar level.
No, he used to be. He was better than that during his peak days. So there is no doubt. And our midfield, that's also very stale. I mean, they have to defend instead of attack because our defenders are weak. And
But
the
the
last
issue-
thing is, yeah.
Go ahead. Finish your point, Mohammed.
And one more point regarding.
Yeah. It's just a spinny thing I've got.
All right, yeah, no, it's just we can hear it there.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I just spin it around. It's just. I'll stop now. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go
There are
ahead.
a lot of fans. Yeah, there are a lot of fans saying about this Jose throwing players under the bus. I just want to give one example of Dele Alli. The first day he came into training, he said that you are a lazy trainer or something like that. It was in documentary. And we gave him 1 year to improve on that. And still today, when we see him in these Europa League games and all this stuff, he was the same. So he has given him 1 year to correct his attitude or whatever. And then throw him in the media and let's see how he responds. But that's the problem. I think we have a bunch of players who don't have strong mentality, who are good with Poch. I mean, Poch is not that aggressive as Mourinho is, which is good and bad. There are both cases in there. So that's it. If you want to ask anything.
Yeah, no, I think with my point with Jose is right. He keeps playing Dyer, and he said doesn't want to play Dyer and Toby. So you're telling me that he should drop Toby over Dyer because that's what he did, practically.
No, I'm not
He's
telling you
dropping
this
Dyer.
because Toby can't play 3 matches in 1 week. That's my point. I think therefore he is giving him rest. No, but
he was rested against Stoke.
Yeah.
So then there would be some problem then. Because normally he's playing after every week he's playing a match. He's giving him rest in some cases, but he's playing him regular, like once a week.
I don't know. I think he was rested against Stoke. He was ready to play against Wolves. You play your best defender against Wolves.
Simple
And-
as that.
And you know what I mean? Like I certainly would rather have Toby against Wolves and rest him against Fulham, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but I would. And I think I just think personally is Jose, he needs to let his ego go. He needs to look at himself in the mirror and realize he made a mistake on Dyer. Because every time he looks at Dyer, I don't see what he sees. He thinks that man is like Sergio Busquets, man. You know what I mean?
No, but in yesterday's game, Dyer was okay. What did he do wrong?
No, his passing is terrible. His passing is awful. You need to be able to pass from the back. His first touch, every time his first touch, it goes to the players nearly. It goes to the offense. That's
okay. Pass the back to whom? To Davis? I mean, there is no one to pass.
No, to the midfield. But that's what I'm saying. If you put a combined back line of Davis, Dyer, and Sanchez, you're asking for calamity.
Yeah. That's what I said when the team was out. That's what I said when the lineup came out. I was like, that back three is pressing the self-destruct button.
Yeah, that is
there is no one else.
No, yes, there is. There's Rodon. There's Toby. There's other players.
Okay. Rodon,
by the way, if you're talking about pace, Rodon has pace as well. People forget
he played against Chelsea, right? He made 2 mistakes, and in any other day, these were goals.
Sanchez makes a mistake every game.
Yeah, Sanchez,
but
Dyer, Davies, they all make a mistake every game. And guess what? That was Rodon's first game. You know what Jose did to Rodon? He said, hey, Rodon, how would you like it, your Premier League debut, be against one of the top oppositions in the Premier League? Have fun. Good luck. And guess what? He made 2 mistakes, but guess what? He had the highest passing accuracy against Chelsea, and he had the most clearance rate than any other defender.
Won all his duels as
So
well.
I think what Mohammed is trying to say is that against Chelsea on another day, if a team was more clinical, them 2 mistakes would have been punished. So from what he's seen there, you can't really expect them to be picking Roden, because on another day we would have been punished. We were just lucky they had that plan.
Sanchez is the same.
Sanchez does the same thing. Dyer does the same thing.
But the thing is, Sanchez had more games in his regular season than Roden.
No, David.
That our defense is rubbish. Therefore, he's playing defensive football.
He needs to start getting Rodon in this team. He threw Rodon to the wolves, and I felt like Rodon actually did a good job, considering the circumstances.
Overall, against Chelsea, apart from those mistakes, but it was his debut. For a debut, it was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
If you're telling me,
there's no doubt about it. There was good performance. But the problem Rodon is having that he's not in the squad of Europa League. So he can't.
You're right.
We don't know that how he will play in the matches, and Premier League is quite tough.
But
he played in Championship.
But I'm sorry, he was the best defender in the Championship last season, right? He was touted one of the best center backs last season. This kid does not need cup games. He just needs to be warmed up for the Premier League. We need to start playing him in the Fulham matches. We need to start playing him in the West Brom matches. Jose needs to start taking the initiative, drop Dyer from our plans, Dyer from our plans. He is not in our plans. The thing is, I know what Jose is doing. He plans on making Dyer a long-term plan for our squad.
He signed a new contract.
Dyer is not good enough to be a Premier League champion.
I think we are getting emotional a little bit.
No, he's not. At this moment in time. At this moment in time.
Something else.
No, look, listen. At this moment in time, he has to make Dyer his long-term plan, because as we know, Toby's 33. He's going to have another year maybe left at the top, right? So then you probably will see the likes of Roden come in there. But at this moment in time, he has to try and make Dyer his long-term plan until he can go and get another centre-back. Like, let's be honest. He was linked with Skriniar. Now, if he got Skriniar's a long-term plan. But it didn't happen. He got left with Roden. But anyway, Mohammed, thanks very much for coming on. We do have other people in the background. So big up for coming on. Thanks very much. I do appreciate it. You got Marcelo stoked there. You got him riled up for the first time first time here today. It's good to see.
The thing is, David, there's a comment there from Joe. It says Dyer won't get dropped. It's just the way it is.
No. That pisses me off is that people say that they look at Rodon's match against Chelsea. He's like, oh, but he made 2 errors, right? But it's like, dude, if you put Dyer in the same circumstances as Rodon, Dyer has a disaster class. If that was Dyer's debut in the Premier League versus Chelsea, he would have a disaster class. The fact that Rodon only made 2 mistakes against Chelsea, had the most clearances, had the best pass accuracy than anybody else in the back line, anybody else in the team. He had the highest passing accuracy.
I thought as well against Chelsea, the way Rodon broke into midfield was quite impressive. I know it was risky for his debut, but it was risky, but it was impressive for his debut.
If you're telling me that's what you're gonna get from a player's debut, that I'll take that any day of the fucking week. He has been playing, and stop with these cup games. He's played in the cup games with Swansea. He's played against the likes of City. He's played against the likes of, Premier League teams, and he's been their best player. He's played in the Championship, been their best player, was the best center back. He is ready to be put in the first team. But the thing is, Jose Mourinho screwed him in the ass. He chose to make his Premier League debut against Chelsea. You don't do that to someone that's coming up to the Premier League. You put him against the West Brom. I've been calling it.
Marcelo as well.
Go ahead.
Answer this question right. What is it with Mourinho and Dyer? What is going on there? Because something's clearly there.
I don't know.
Something going on there.
And then you're telling me, and David, I'm sorry, you're telling me to not get mad when you're telling me that Dyer's in our long-term plans. Now you're pissing me off because now we have the likes of Taganga, we have the likes of Rodon, and you're telling me that Dyer is our long-term plan. I'm sorry, if Dyer's our long-term plan, our long-term plan, then get Mourinho out because that is a clueless.
No, you're picking me up wrong. Right? So when he comes in, he looks at the squad. Right, who is he going to put in beside Toby? It's going to be Dyer. But then you look at Toby. Toby's 33, so he probably has another year left at the top, right? So then you have Dyer. Now, looking at Levy and the way he spends money, he's not going to go out and get a the complete centre back that he needs to build his defence on. So he has to use Dyer to build his defence on. That's my point. But look, quickly, we'll just move on.
Needed, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, that is what's needed. Like he was expecting Skriniar, but look, Gaffey, 1996, you're a guy I actually do want to speak to. You make a lot of interesting points, and I find myself leaning on your side when you do make comments. The link for this stream is in the comment section. So get on. We have in Nurse here quickly. So we'll get this guy on. Your mic is actually muted in there, Nurse. Right. Yeah, so look, we'll take him out until he unmutes. We have Lily White Lane, and we'll bring this guy on. What's your question?
Hi, guys.
So I wanted to ask you guys one thing. Do you guys think Dyer should stay first team for the Premier League games, or do you think he should be more of a Europa guy?
I think Dyer should be dropped for the way he's played the last few games. Give, as Marcelo said, give Welsh Maldini a go.
Yeah, no, listen, I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. I've been saying when we're top of the league, Dyer's going to get found out for the footballer he is, and that's exactly what happened. He's a bad footballer. He doesn't have the basics. He needs to go back to the academy. He needs to go back to play with the under-23s and learn the basics of football. You can't have that first touch, dude. That first touch is criminal.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Charlie, have you anything to add to that? I'm sure you will. You have a lot to say.
The thing is, I've given Dyer a lot of credit this season, and that's been surprising for me because I've been someone that's heavily criticised him like last season when Mourinho first came in. I know I wasn't on YouTube then, but I heavily criticised him then. So I've stuck up for him a lot this season. But the problem is I just can't do it over these last few games because he hasn't been good enough. As Marcelo said, his passing has been atrocious. His first touch has been bad, and I just can't defend him. And I think it's time for him to just be taken out of the team, just calm down a bit. That's all I'm saying. It's time to just calm things down a bit, take him out of the team and give someone else a go. And the player that should come in is Rodon, because Sanchez is going to be worse. So I think Rodon should come in.
I think the issue is, right, and I'm not trying to have a shot on anybody here. I think sometimes fans are a little bit like, oh, if we're winning, everything is right. And if we're losing, everything is wrong.
Yeah.
See, personally, I look at the game and I'm like, even though we win, that's still an area. That's still a problem.
Yeah, I see that as well.
And whenever we were winning the games, I knew that Toby was covering Dyer's mistakes. He was covering Dyer's poor passing. And I said it, and I've been saying it, that he should be integrating the Welsh Maldini. Now that we're losing, everybody's saying, oh, change up the whole lineup, change up the whole system. No, keep the philosophy. But drop Dyer, drop Davies, drop Winks. That's the solution.
Where I'm at with Eric Dyer is I do agree. I don't think he's good enough going forward long term. I don't believe he's the answer. He's definitely not the answer. He's not composed enough on the ball. But he's at a stage in his career where if he wants to be the answer, he has to make it happen. Like, no, you know what I mean? Mourinho's not asking him to not be able to control the ball, to kick it back to the opposition, not make a simple 5-yard pass. Mourinho's not asking him to do that, but Mourinho can only work with the tools he has. So for now, you get by with him, if even. But long term, no, he's not the answer. He's not the answer. We do need to go and sign a Skriniar and Upamecano. Players like that.
Yeah.
Milenkovic,
as Marcelo would say.
I'll say
Milenkovic a bit. Yeah.
I'll say something quickly here if it's all right. I think Dyer, he's a much improved player. From when he was in midfield, I couldn't stand the guy. I didn't think he deserved to level to shot. But then in defence, I do think he's made a lot of improvements. But then again, he's just sloppy on the ball. Like yesterday, he was like a tennis racket. Just kept on giving away the ball.
Absolutely. And, let me tell you why. People don't forget this. The reason why Dyer was poor in the midfield was because of his poor passing. He couldn't pass the ball in the midfield. And that's why we had to drop him. That's why we had to drop him for Olympiacos. And then people were like, oh, no, just move him center back. I'm like, oh, my God, that's even worse because he's going to make mistakes in the back. He's going to make mistakes passing from the back. You need a center back that can pass from the back into the midfield. That's how football works. And I said it, and I keep telling people this. Jose needs to stop accommodating for Dyer. He needs to stop trying to rotate the team around Dyer. He's not good enough. You know who you rotate your team around of? Kane. Kane. Yeah. You rotate your team around Kane. You rotate your team around Son. These are the players that can impact the game, not Eric Dyer.
No, but the thing is, at the back, he has to do it around Eric Dyer.
No, he doesn't.
You can do it around Toby.
It has to be around Toby. No, are you kidding me? It has to be around Toby. And I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of this whole 33-year-old thing. Listen, Thiago Silva is 35 years old, and he's 3 times the defender that Eric Dyer is. All right? I don't care. Toby can have no knees. He can have no legs. He can have no eyes. He can have no arms. He's still the better defender than Dyer. So you play around Toby. I don't care.
Yeah. Thanks very much for coming on, Lily White Lane. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
See you guys later.
Yeah, see you, man.
I'll see you later. Bye. And then lastly, we'll get in on Nurse back on there quickly.
Hey, David. Hey, Marcel. Hey, Charlie. How are you guys?
Doing very good.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, what's your question?
Do you think Harwin should stick with Sado as a backwards passer because his forward passing is really bad? Can obviously see his game yesterday.
He was poor yesterday again.
Big surprise. It's almost like I've been saying we should be starting in great Harvey White. You know.
Yeah.
White. I think White's a solution to our set pieces because we don't have a dead ball specialist, and White is that. Harvey White is that. And
exactly. And why are we not playing him in these cup games? Why are we not playing him in Europa? Yeah. Why are we playing Winks? Why are we not playing him in rotations? I don't know. Ask Jose that. But because apparently he loves some shit average players, man. I don't know, man. Maybe he just gets off to that. But then I guess like when you see Harvey White making crosses like Trent Alexander-Arnold day after day in the under 23s, it's not good enough. It's not good enough to warrant a chance in the first team. Okay, I guess whatever, dude.
But you know what? Do you know what's embarrassing? That Winks has to look to Harvey White how to put a ball in the box because what you seen Harvey White do against Chelsea under 23s, Winks done exactly against Stoke. So it's embarrassing that he has to get his ideas from a young lad that is trying to cut the grade. And for me, Winks has limited a lot of opportunities for these players. Because he has had the chance to play well, he hasn't took it, which means we've had to use a lot of our first team players. The likes of Højbjerg has to come on and Ndombele has to come on, and
Yeah, David, can I just make a point? Can I just make a point now? I don't like talking about them, but I just want to say, you look at Arsenal in the Europa League. In all 6 of their group games, they've played kids in all of them. I don't want to talk about them too much because we don't want to talk about Arsenal. But I just want to put this point out there. You look at in their 6 group stage games, they just played kids in all of them and got by. With us, it's different. We've had to call upon more first team players. And it's just ridiculous how Arsenal can literally just put their kids out and we can't. What's the difference? Do you guys have anything to say to that?
Because Jose doesn't trust the youth. And he doesn't think the youth is ready because he likes experience. But guess what? If your only experience as a player is being average and shit, that's what all you're gonna get from Winks and Davies. So that's why I will criticize him, and I have been criticizing him because he should have played Sirkin in the Europa League matches. He should have played Harvey
White.
Harvey White and the Carabao matches. He should have been playing these kids, and he didn't. And now he's losing opportunity. And guess what? We can't do it now. Because we're gonna play a knockout game in a semifinal against Brentford, and we can't play the youth there because it's gonna be too risky.
Yeah. I'm saying as well, it's frustrating because the reason why Kane and Son have been running to the ground is because other players haven't stepped up, and it's so frustrating.
It is.
I don't get what it is. Is it with other players aren't stepping up? Is it a mentality thing? Is it an ability thing? What is it? What is it?
Shit. They're just shit.
Anyway,
that's what they are.
Thanks very much, Nurse. There's one person. Thanks very much for coming on. There's one person I just want to get on there quickly. It is Gaffy. He is a person I have tended to see myself agreeing with an awful lot. So just give me 1 second now. I will get this guy on.
Come on, Gaffy. Big up, Gaffy. Always on my streams as well.
Man.
Come on.
Yes, man. How are things?
I like your shirt, man. You're muted.
I can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. No.
Oh, there we go. I'm hearing something now.
Yeah, go on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just put this down. I just thought I'd plug in my headset because it might be easier. How is everybody?
I'm doing good.
Jeffy, good to see you. I've seen you on my channel a lot as well. Good to have you on here.
And my age as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, Charlie, the Irish Kid, and Marcelo, you all do amazing, really amazing content. I love being in the stream. This is the first time that I've actually sort of had the courage, I guess, to sort of voice my opinion and come on.
That's the Irish Kid effect.
Come on.
Yeah, so I don't actually have a question in mind, but I will just sort of, I guess, just share my general feelings. You know, I think yesterday, in terms of the game, in terms of Wolves, I do completely agree with both sides. I can see that there's some anger, you know, directed towards Mourinho, but there's also a lot of anger directed towards the players as well. In terms of the formation, I actually thought the formation was perfect for yesterday's game. And I know some people might be thinking, okay, what is this guy on about? But I think a 3-5-2 was good because we nullified their attacking threats, particularly in terms of Adama Traore, which I do feel we nullified him for the majority of the game. There were a few moments where he did get past. But in terms of the attacking options, I feel that Doherty did get forward a good amount of times and Reguilon as well. But we didn't pass out wide. We just tried to go through the middle too much. And I feel that if we capitalise on those the wingers in that instance, we would have had a much more attacking threat. In terms of you know, sort of, we went up 50 seconds, end on Belay with a fantastic strike. Really, really good to see that. I do feel that, and it's difficult because I understand why Jose does get a bit of stick here, but there's no reason after 59 seconds where, you know, the players should just be sitting back. And, you know, I can imagine this was probably the same for everybody. Is that, you know, you're shouting at the TV, you're saying, get forward, and that ball pass. And every time we won the ball back, it's a cycle. And I think I agree here slightly with Marcelo about Dyer here. I do feel that Dyer does bring something to the team, but I do feel he can sometimes be sort of, you know, a shot. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. So when we win back possession, it often goes backwards to the centre-backs, particularly Dyer. The good thing with Alderweireld is he's got very good passing, but with Dyer, he doesn't have the passing ability. So what happens is we go backwards to the centre-backs. The midfield is often static. They don't move or they don't come back. They just stand where they are, which is really frustrating. So the ball always stays back with Lloris and the centre-backs, or it goes out wide and back again. Then Dyer is trying to think, where can I pass this ball? There's no options. And so he just hoops it up. It then goes straight back to the opposition and they just attack us and we repeat. And that's the key issue that we've got at the moment. We need to be much better in possession. Now, I don't want to keep talking and rambling on, but I feel that the reason why we're not very good in that particular position is because we don't have the players that are, one, able to retain the ball, two, have the confidence of making forward passes, and three, that can really feed it to Kane and Son to give us that attacking momentum. Often Kane has to drop back so deep, get the ball, pass it on, and then there's nobody up there for that attacking threat. So what we really need to do is we need to see the midfield taking more responsibility. It's the midfield that's it. So in a sense, if we think about it, defensively, we were very good. But on the whole, we were very good. The attack is generally very good. The midfield needs to link the two. Ndombele is a world-class player, and I'll say that out now. I feel like he's going to be a world-class player. Kane and Son are world-class players, but we don't have a world-class centre-back, in my opinion. We don't. No. I think Reguilon could be world-class as well, actually. I'll definitely say that. And Lloris is world-class. We need those foundations, those strong foundations. If we had, and I know it's not all about money and it's not all about buying more and more players and so on, and I've heard arguments. I think it was on Tottenham Fan TV, who I love as well. Yesterday, they were saying, you know, we brought 6 players in for, you know, we should be much better. But if you think about it, we spent 65 million. Man City, when they lost the game, they went and bought Ruben Diaz That's more. They paid more for one player that we've played for, bought our entire transfer window. So I don't agree with the notion that we've spent. I feel like we need more investment. Now, one thing I will say, and I know I'm going a bit off point. I'm sorry. I know I'm not really anybody else.
No need to apologize. This is great.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
One thing I just want to say to you quickly. Do you ever hear that term, the expression, a diamond in the rough? In the rough. That's exactly what you are. And I'd love if you could come on my channel more often. I really do. I could sit here listening to you all day. I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to what you have to say. And you're right. Like, even the players like me, do you know what? There is a lot of stuff we actually talk about off air that we don't actually get on air because we're so enthusiastic we forget about it, right? But this is one thing we've all spoke about, is the caliber of players we're buying as well. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
It isn't good enough.
Yeah.
And I fully agree with you. So, look, I just want to put it to you. If you want to come on my channel more often, get in contact with me on Twitter at the Irish White, and I can send you links so we can get you on more often. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to you. I'm sure these two lads have as well.
Absolutely.
I definitely have. I just wanted to say one last thing, if that's okay. In terms of set pieces, which have become a real issue for us, and I agree with what everybody was saying in terms of within that Wolves game. As soon as we scored, I was like, right, okay, we need that second goal. We need that second goal.
I was saying that I was saying that the whole game, literally.
Yeah. Anything can happen. And, to be honest, I was actually very surprised in the 45th minute. As soon as they had the attack and Dyer made that foul, I guess it was on... who was the striker? I can't remember. Fabio Silva, I think it was it? But as soon as he made that tackle, I was thinking, okay, there's actually a bit of contact there. We're probably going to go straight down to 1-1. And that just shows how much of a fine line there is between a 1-0 lead. Now, my thinking is that, and I know there's a lot of criticism of Jose, and he does deserve some criticism. You can't, I love Mourinho. I'll say that now. I always defend Mourinho to the hill. Particularly because I feel like he deserves time. Particularly because Jurgen Klopp was given 4 years, didn't win anything, but he was given that time. Pep Guardiola last season just won the Carabao Cup, despite nearly spending $1 billion in transfers now. If that was Mourinho in the Man City job, he'd be sacked for that. It's just Pep Guardiola's reputation that saved him there. Mourinho, and I'll say this on record, Mourinho will win trophies at Tottenham.
Absolutely.
Mourinho will win trophies at Tottenham.
I'm confident of that.
And I feel this season has sort of there's two things that have really happened. The first is that because of COVID and the way in which the league is going, it's given the fans, given us an opportunity to think we could really capitalise here. Second thing is that the reputation of Mourinho almost sort of it gets the fans a bit upset when he doesn't necessarily live up to the expectations that we have of him. So because he's a title winner and he's won everything in the game, we always assume, or we have this expectation that he has to do these things. If we had a different manager that didn't come with the reputation of Mourinho, we wouldn't necessarily be saying we need to win the league this season. And, I think that the media has really sort of pushed up this notion of, it's Jose's second season. I would disagree with that and say it's Jose's first full season.
It is.
And so what we need to do is, I think next year is when we're going to be a really formidable team, when we've had a couple more transfer windows, when we've brought in that personnel, and hopefully strengthen up those weak positions. I think we do need a new right winger, despite having lots of options. We've got Bale, we've got Lucas, we've got Lamella, and so on. I do think we need to perhaps get rid of one or two and then strengthen that position. Because if we have Kane, Son, Ndombele, and a right winger, a new right winger that can score goals but also defend as well, we have the best pack in the league. In my
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
I actually think our best right winger at the moment is Lamella. And, I think there's a lot of... And the reason for that is Lamella maybe not so attacking, but he gives, I think, the best overall performance. He gives intensity. You can see that there's desire. Even when he commits fouls, it's like, well done for actually trying to get the ball and win that back. I feel at the moment, Bale can do the attack, but not the defence, although the attack is questionable at the moment. I feel Bergwijn is brilliant defensively, but attacking, he just needs that final sort of that ability to finish. And maybe that will come. He's very young. And Lucas, I feel...
He'll come good.
I'm unsure about Lucas, because you can see that, I get tired watching him in the sense that he does so much work. I'm sort of like out of breath just watching him. And then if you think about what he does during the game, he doesn't really do much defensively or attackingly. He's quite small as well, so he's got a fantastic lead, but often he doesn't win any of the balls or the tackles. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling. But anyway,
no.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I will pass it over to Marcelo first, and then Charlie. Let's know what you think on what Gaffy has to say.
Personally, I think the one thing I will disagree with you is on the midfield, on where the midfield needs to be doing more. Okay. I think personally the issue is the back line. They're not giving the midfield proper clean balls. Other than Toby, no one in the back line is giving proper balls to the midfield. It's often Dyer throwing a long, sloppy ball to either Son or whether it be Højbjerg or whatever, right? So it's not good enough. You can't give a shit pass and expect the midfielder to do something with that. You know what I mean? It's just 100%. It's difficult. So I think the issue in terms of passing comes back to the back line. And that's why I keep saying, we should give Rodon a chance against Fulham, because he has a good pass in him. And if he does good, I think we need to keep, building him into the Premier League squad. And so I think we should give Rodon a chance. I think Reguilon, I didn't like the back five because I thought it was risky. But I think Reguilon needs to be starting more than Davies. I mean, I seen Davies, even after we got Reguilon, I see Davies play so much. You know what I mean? Like him rotating Reguilon and Davies so much. Reguilon's a young lad. He can play 2 games a week. He can. You know what I mean? Like, he's 23 years old. He has a lot of pace. You see him. He has a lot of energy. So Reguilon should be playing more often. And I think if we have a backline of Reguilon, Rodon, Toby, okay, Aurier maybe not the best passer, but I think if we have a backline of those 4, we have a decent passing from the back. We have a good enough passing from the back. And the midfield, he needs to quit Winks. Winks, not good enough. He can't pass forward. He needs to play either, if Lo Celso is fit, you know what I mean? When he gets fit, he needs to start playing Lo Celso and Baller and Højbjerg. He needs to start making that work. I know he needs to make that work somehow, because we bought those players for a reason. Those are some of our most expensive players. So he needs to make that work in his system. And if that doesn't work, don't play Winks. Play Harvey White or play Sissoko. Either one. I'd rather have those 2. So he needs to. I think he needs to drop these certain players. And I agree with you. I said when Mourinho came in, I said this season doesn't matter. I'm not gonna. When he first came in, I said he has 6 months. This is not his players. I'm not gonna criticize him at all this season. This season, I'm gonna criticize some of his idea, but I'm never gonna be Jose out unless we're like in a relegation battle. I need to see Mourinho with 2 full summers. Once he gets those 2 full summers, like you said, that's when we can, really go at him.
Yeah. Charlie?
I just
have a point in there. Is that okay?
Yeah, go on.
I just wanted to say, I think the season's been very much so far defined by fine lines. So if we think about early in the season when we played Newcastle, that VAR decision was completely wrong and wouldn't even be given now, and we lost 2 points because of that. And I know you could, we had lots of opportunities and we played really well. We should have scored more, but still, I feel that, that was a very fine line. In terms of Liverpool, I actually think, if we had won that game, which we should have won, we should have won. And I know there was a lot of sort of mocking of Jose when he said that we were the better team. Maybe you should have said we had the better chances, but we did have the better chances by far. We should have been, 2-3-1 up before they scored in the last minute. I feel like the season is being defined by fine lines. Even when we think about Leicester did nothing in that game. We were our downfall. We shot ourselves in the foot. We gave a penalty for free. No reason to give a penalty. And then Sissoko, unfortunately, didn't stick with Vardy, got the wrong side, and then they got a goal from them. So I know, I completely understand, and I understand everybody, getting upset, and I do as well. I get upset when we have disappointing results. I do feel here the fact that we go to Anfield and it's literally, it could have gone either way. That does show progress. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not saying that you're not saying, but don't worry. I just want to say that, I feel that if we just hang on in there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. We're on the down at the moment.
Exactly.
But I genuinely feel against Fulham, Jose's going to be saying to those players, you know what? You need to go out there. You need to attack from the off. And personally, I think we're going to absolutely demolish Fulham. Maybe I'll look like an idiot after this. But I genuinely do think, Jose set it up now where he said, right, I've told the players that they should be attacking. If they go offensively in the next game, the criticism has to go for Mourinho and not the players. So here, Jose's got to say before the game, you need to go and you need to put in the performance that the fans are going to expect of you and give it your all. The only sometimes thing I think Mourinho has in his mind is that West Ham defeat, because we absolutely smashed West Ham 3-0 up and then we choked it. And the issue for Mourinho, I think, is that he's worried that we'll go so far attacking, we'll attack, and just get stung, and then we won't be able to break the opposition down. But I agree with Ali Gold's point, which he was saying before. It should be for the opponents to worry about us, not for us to necessarily worry about the opponents because of the quality that we've got. Now, that doesn't mean don't worry or don't set up or don't be aware of the opponent's attacking threats. That's be aware of the opponent's attacking threat. Also, don't be afraid to show your own flair and attack your shots. And I think that's just the thing we're not getting right at the moment. There's not a balance there. We're too, and I agree with the notion that we're focusing too much on the defending, but we look very, very scared when we're attacking. And I think the epitome of that, just my final point, the epitome of that was when Winks retained the ball. I think it was in the second half against Wolves. And as soon as he got the ball, he panicked. He turned towards the I think it was the line, and then he just accidentally kicked the ball out. And that showed sort of a lack of composure on the ball. It's not just Winks, so I'm not just singling Winks out, but it seems like whenever we get the ball, we're a bit scared as to where to go next. And I think we just need a bit more confidence, and I think a big win will restore that confidence, and we'll go on to do some really, really good things. So patience, time, trust in the team, and we'll be there. We'll be there, I think.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, Gaffy. At the beginning of the season, if I said to you, you know what, we'll be 6 points off, the top, and we'll be 5th place. You snatch it on my hand, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think, listen, Jose.
I think. Go on. Yeah. Sorry.
Jose's improved his team.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I think Jose has massively improved this team.
I think in relation to that as well, we've got a bit of a luxury, and this might be a bit of a controversial point, but something that I do want to say is that if let's just say we don't perform that well in the league, we then have the Europa League to get ourselves into the Champions League places. Now, I would say that we're favourites for the Europa League because of Jose's experience, and I also feel that we've got the best squad. We don't have the best reserve squad, and I think actually that if we were in the Champions League this season, I genuinely would be questioning whether we'd actually get out of the group stages based on the second team options that we have. We struggled in the Europa League, and we had to bring on our best players. Really get
that's why they've been running to the ground.
Exactly.
Well, look, I'm going to end it there shortly. But look, Gaffy, thanks very much for coming on. And genuinely, I mean this. Do hit me up. I do want to get you on more often. You've been brilliant. You've been absolutely brilliant. So make sure you do get in contact with me. I'm going to give you plenty of airtime to say what you have to say. Thanks very much for coming on.
Yeah, Gaffy, cheers as always. I always see your comments on my channel as well. Thank you. And I just want to make a point as well. I agree with everything you said there. Spot on, really. Definitely, really, really good listening to you there.
I just want to say to you all, thank you all very much for everything that you've done, giving me the opportunity to speak. And I'll be around all your channels. So thank you very much, and take care. And come on, you Spurs, we're gonna get a big win.
Come on, you Spurs. Thank you, Gaffy. Make sure you hit me up, and I mean that.
Will do. Take care. See you.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Really good.
Now, lads,
really
so
good,
just before we go, basically, I'm going to give you each say what you want.
Yeah.
You want to go first? You go first, Charlie.
All right. So yeah, what do you want to say? Like a question or what we
no,
doing?
whatever you want. I'm sure you have a few things you want to say, so get it off your chest.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot off my chest today. And I agree with what Gaffy was saying there about the fact that we need a world-class centre back. We need a world-class centre back. We need that upgrade on Sissoko. We need that upgrade on the right wing. I think, yeah, he's definitely right there, because I still think there's players there that we just can't rely on consistently, if you know what I mean. So I think, yeah, we just need those 3 players, I feel, to just come in, fix this team, just fix the remaining problems that are in this team, and then we can hopefully be more consistent. And it's just as well. Yes, you do have to question Jose with the tactics. I really do. I feel strongly about that. But as well, I think the players for the game yesterday, everyone has to take responsibility. The players and the manager were both at fault yesterday. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I feel, does Jose enjoy it? Like the way we just sit back and not create anything going forward. Does he enjoy it, Jose? Because I don't know what it is. I just see him there sometimes. I don't know what it is. It's just so frustrating. And the next game is crucial. Fulham at home. If we don't beat them, I genuinely don't know what I'm going to say. If we don't beat them, same with Leeds. I know Leeds will be tough. They're a really good side, Leeds. The way they play football, but we still should beat them. Yeah, particularly with how expansive they play, the space they leave behind. I definitely think we should do. And as well, we got Brentford in the semis. Brentford, that's not an easy game. But I still expect us to beat Brentford, but we can't underestimate Brentford. Brentford are the type of team, they've got banana skin written all over them, literally. Yeah. We can't underestimate them. They're a good side, really good championship side. They've got the quality to be a Premier League side. So, we can't underestimate them. And as well, we got Aston Villa. They're doing very well this season. They got 2 games in hand over us this year, and as well Sheffield United. And the thing is with Sheffield United, they're only losing by 1 goal all their games. They're all by 1 goal. So I don't think that will be as easy as people are saying. To be honest, because they're only losing by 1 goal. But some massive games coming up, some season-defining games coming up.
Listen, for me, is as long as Jose doesn't get relegated. You know what I mean? Or we're in a relegation battle. He has 2 summers for me. I've already said.
Some breaking news here. Man City against Everton postponed because of COVID.
Wow. Okay. But as I was saying, you know what I mean? As long as we're not in a relegation battle under Jose, I'm willing to give him another summer, to get things right. Yeah. It's not fair to ask a manager who comes in a depleted squad and, ask him to work miracles. But the thing is, I do think he has some players that he's not utilizing. And he is playing players that he shouldn't be playing. For example, Eric Dyer. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care if Toby is 80 years old. Toby is our best defender. We play around Toby. Simple as, simple of. And you don't play around Dyer. Stop playing around Dyer. I get he's your Portuguese son, but he's shit. Garbage. Let him out. Let him in the bench. Play him in the cup games. Play him rotation. He's the player that should be in rotations. Try getting the Welsh Maldini back in the team. Try playing Welsh Maldini against these games against Fulham. Don't put him against Chelsea. Don't throw him under the bus against Chelsea, because he is going to make mistakes. Because
Crystal Palace have taken the lead against Leicester. Wilfred Zaha has scored.
I mean, at this point, that's great and all, but again, what's the point of these teams getting the results if he's going to play the same players that let him down? So that's what I want from Jose. I want him to show, I want him to show a little bit of cojones. You know what I mean? I want Jose to show us a little bit of balls. Because one thing I respected about Pochettino is when things weren't going right for us, he would go and he would trust the youth. And you look at it, and I hate giving this guy credit, but look at what Arteta did against Chelsea. He gave the youth a chance, and they went and won the game. Jose, forget these experience, show a little bit of cojones, play some of these youngsters, put them under rotations. I'm sick and tired of seeing these same shit players play. If you play these young players on rotation and it doesn't work, I will put my hands up and I'll say fair play. But give them a chance. All right? I'm sick and tired of it. And that's all I have to say.
The thing is, as well, Ryan Sessegnon and Oliver Skip, both 2 youth players on loan that would definitely be good for us. Would definitely do a job for us now.
Yeah, 100%. Look, guys, there's been a lot of people watching today. a lot of people in the comments, and as well to Charlie and Marcelo, look, and Gaffy and people that have come on today. Thanks very much for making this show happen. Thanks very much for cheering me up as well. I was in an awful mood last night and this morning. I'm a lot happier now. It's the Spurs therapy that I needed. So thanks to you guys, especially you two as well, lads. You're always coming on. You're always, people love to see you, love listening to you, and you're giving your insight. I can't thank you enough as well for also helping me to 500 subs. It wouldn't have been done without the likes of ye, Matty Hayes, We Are Tottenham TV, the supporters. And I just want to also apologise to Ashley Chanel, and Thomas Nation and Rob Hogan. I just don't have time to fit you on today. You can blame me, missus. She's sitting here waving the shopping bags at me. She's dying to go and do a bit of shopping, so I do apologise. But I will make sure I get ye on first next time, I promise. And again, thanks to everybody.
Yeah.
And look, we're still in a tight race. We're only 6 points off top. My confidence never, ever wavers. Ever wavers. Don't you forget that. You want to hear title talk?
Come on, Charlie.
To the Irish League.
Come on.
This is the channel for title talk.
Go.
We're only 6 points off top. My confidence never wavers. We're in a Carabao Cup semi-final. We have a good chance of making a final, lifting a trophy. So, look, as much as we like to criticise players and we had the fallout from the Wolves game, everyone had the different opinions. We've all said it now. Let's get back together. Let's get on this train. And let's ride it all the way to the last station where that trophy's waiting for us.
Just don't park the bus, Jose, please.
In Jose, we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Don't park the bus, please. Please don't park the bus again, please.